Distinguished governors, I urge you to join me in shaping the IFAD of the future. As governors, it is our duty to empower IFAD to advocate within our governments, to raise awareness and to mobilise the financial commitments necessary to unlock IFAD's full potential. Now is not the time to scale back our international efforts. The resources available to IFAD must match our ambitions and clearly identified needs. Therefore, the responsibility to act is ours to ensure that rural communities are not left behind, that food security becomes a reality for all, and that we build a future defined not by crises, but by resilience and opportunity. Together, let us step forward with conviction, with urgency, and with the unwavering commitment that no one is left behind. On that note, distinguished delegates, I am honoured to declare the 48th session of the Governing Council of IFAD open.
We are meeting at a time when the world is facing an alarming situation where about 22% of the world's children are stunted and almost 30% of the world's population suffers from one or more micronutrient deficiencies as a result of the lack of access to foods that sustain healthy growth and development. Malnutrition levels across Africa remain unacceptably high, with 13.7% of infants having a low birth weight, and 30.7% of children under 5 years of age suffering from stunting. As Africans, we know, and we have seen, and we are seeing that our continent is disproportionately affected by the scourge of climate change. The impacts of climate change, such as droughts, floods, land degradation, and the loss of biodiversity, are deeply intertwined with the continent's agri-food systems and the multiple challenges around food and nutrition security. As the threat of climate change becomes more evident, it is imperative that African countries tackle climate and nutrition in interlinked ways, with a clear strategy to mitigate the impacts of climate change on healthy diets. Malnutrition in all forms imposes very high social and economic costs on our countries, developing or developed. It represents a long-term drain on socio-economic development, with African economies losing between 1.9% and 16.5% of their annual GDP to child undernutrition.
The first mile represents the heart of our rural economies. Smallholder farmers, fisher folks, and rural entrepreneurs. These individuals remain the bedrock of food systems and national economies despite limited resources and structural challenges. The theme also captures the essence of what we strive for: creating meaningful and lasting change at the very foundation of our food systems. For more than 40 years, IFAD's locally led development model has helped rural communities to take control of their futures. Your Majesty, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, our food systems are under immense pressure, facing unprecedented global challenges. Economic uncertainties, conflict, climate change, and entrenched inequalities continue to impact our rural communities disproportionately. These crises not only expose our long-standing systemic issues, but often aggravate them. Rural areas, often seen as the last mile, are in fact the starting point, the first mile for achieving global food security and sustainable development. Rural economies are the backbone of Sierra Leone's economy. Yet, they bear the brunt of climate change and are most affected by various shocks. Smallholder farmers make up more than 90% of the agricultural workforce, with women representing 70%. Their contribution is invaluable, yet they face significantly greater challenges than men in accessing finance, resources, and time, limiting their full potential.
The United Republic of Tanzania have a long-standing partnership with IFAD and is still committed to continue contributing to the inclusive development of our country, whereby around 70% of the population is dominated by the smallholder farmers. Also, according to Kampala Declaration 2025, smallholder farmers are defined as small and medium enterprise, playing the role of transforming rural realities into economic growth of the country. Therefore, investing to them is inevitable to create sustainable global growth. Sustainable global growth. The world needs to define and agree unanimously on investing at the first mile. For the last 4 decades, IFAD has established itself as a key partner in ensuring food security and sovereignty in line with our national priority, strategies, and plan. Ladies and gentlemen, our agenda in agriculture is food system approach and wealth creation. The United Republic of Tanzania vision is to feed ourselves and feed others commercially. In line to this agenda, Tanzania has adopted various initiatives and set of priorities, such as increasing production and productivity, irrigation infrastructure, job creation, digitalization, trade, and access to finance, geared at improving agricultural sector and enhance to contribution to the economic growth. In implementing the set priority, the government has increased budgetary allocation to the crop subsector from 88 million USD in 2021 to 420 million USD in 2024. Livestock has increased from 16 million US dollar to 120 million US dollar in 2024. This has led to the increase of the contribution of agricultural sector and growth of the sector from the growth of 2.7% growth annually to 4.2 2024, increase of food production from 17 million metric tons to 22 million metric tons, increase export value from $1.2 million to $3.5 million by 2024, increase of food self-sufficiency from 114% to 128%. Also, we aim at increase our irrigation infrastructure from 560 hectares to 1.2 million hectares this year, and decrease of post-harvest loss from 25% to 5% by 2030. Ladies and gentlemen, Tanzania expects to launch Tanzania Development Vision by 2050, which has deliberately put agricultural sector at the center of the country economic transformation. Ahead of this, we came up with the Agricultural Master Plan 2050. The Agricultural Master Plan is visionary, broadly economically perspective, and address specific intervention to agricultural sector. As a roadmap and investment framework for agricultural transformation for the next 25 years, we thank IFAD and other development partners for supporting this initiative.